Alright guys, today we're going to be taking a look at some of the anti-theft methods I use to help keep my bike safe. You know, there's nothing like buying a brand new bike and then having somebody come by and decide that they like your bike more than you do and they deserve it. So I've known people that have had their bikes stolen. It's no fun. And for most of us that ride super bikes, not something you want to get into. We're going to take a look at the GSXS750 and some of the things I've installed on it to keep it a little bit more safe and secure. These are inexpensive options. I bought them off of Amazon, each one under $100. I got a Gorilla 9 series cycle alarm and a Spot Trace personal asset tracker. They're both really good products. They came with pretty high reviews. You know, this is again my method. You don't have to do it just like mine, but this is what works for me. I think it works pretty good. Alright, the first thing I'd like to talk about is the Gorilla 9 series compact cycle alarm. About $100 off of eBay, no biggie, real easy to install. The actual installation is attached to the battery underneath the seat. I mounted the alarm up under the actual rear seat, up against the frame support for the rear seat lock. And it's a pretty nifty device. Just to give you an idea of how it works, it does come with a key fob once you finish installation. It runs off of battery power. The three button key fob basically have one button for arming, one button for disarming, and the functions button lets you change the sound and sensitivity levels of the alarm. So basically, and one of the reasons why I like this alarm system here is because the basic arming will set off if you knock it or if you bring it up to a non-angled position, or if you attempt to start the bike. It has a secondary function called the warn-off function, and the third function, which I just put it in, which will only set the alarm off if you attempt to start the motorcycle. So, pretty good alarm, pretty good system. It works for me. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the Spot Trace theft anti-tracking device. Now this was just a nifty little thing I found off of Amazon as well. Inexpensive, probably about $100. You have to pay about a $100 subscription fee. But you can mount it anywhere on the bike and it will actually track the GPS satellite location of the bike. And it will keep a tab on it. You can set it down at every 5-minute intervals. So you can track yourself, your family can see where you go, so if you're going on a long trip, you don't have to worry about whether you made it or not. And if your bike were to be stolen, you have a recovery system. You could also use this to aid the police in finding and recovering your motorcycle before it has a chance to be parted or sold or anything like that. I mounted the device up into the headlight of the unit. And the way I mounted the device, I actually put it up behind the headlight in here. It's actually sitting behind the above the headlight and behind the speedometer. And I found that to be a great spot, number one, because you can't see anything behind here. Number two, because in itself, because there's so little room here, it actually holds the tracker in place. Now actually what you could do is, to access this little spot here, is you remove this bolt right down here and the opposite one on the other side, which I've already removed. Okay, now once you get that bolt removed from down in there, then you can just apply a little bit of pressure and you can actually pull the headlight assembly away from the speedometer assembly. And what you'll notice is it leaves this nice little spot right in here to mount something. There's actually a lip, an edge that goes all along here. where you can mount something. And I chose to mount mine right down in there. And it actually gets held in here up against the actual speedometer. So I just used Velcro and as a secondary measure to hold it in. And it works great. No rattle, no noise. And it has a direct line of sight. To the actual satellite. And you'll never even know it's there. Alright guys, so that's just a few of the products I use on my bike. You can get them off of Amazon. You know, it's $200 worth of extra security on a bike that probably cost you close to $10,000. So I think it's well worth it. And I'm not saying you have to use these products. There's tons of them out there. Just shop around. But this is what works for me. This is set up on my bike. So appreciate you guys watching. You know, like and subscribe if you want to see more videos. And there'll be a link down in the description to the forums that I regulate. So you guys can check that out too. Later.